Welcome back, Scent Squad. Emerald C here with an Imaginary Authors fragrance review. And we're going to go through 3 different fragrances from them. We have Every Storm, a Serenade, a Whiff of Wafflecone, and last but not least, Sundrunk. These will be the 3 fragrances that we'll be reviewing today. Perfumer Josh Meyer is the creator of these fragrances. A Whiff of Wafflecone was created in 2020, and they partnered with an ice cream brand in Portland, Oregon to create this very exclusive fragrance. Now, this is a phenomenal fragrance if you like fragrances that smell like bakery items and food. It is very vanilla-like, very caramel. It's good if you like sweeter fragrances. It also has undertones of like smokiness and amber connected to it as well. With a huge sillage, it is a perfect winter, fall, or nighttime fragrance. This fragrance will really shine in the evening because it is a very potent and strong fragrance. It's really going to pack a punch. It can easily radiate within an arm's distance, all while lasting anywhere between 3 to 6 hours, so it's going to last quite a bit. As a unisex fragrance, it feels pretty one-dimensional. You'll smell the fragrance, and essentially what you smell first is what you're going to continuously smell throughout the entity of wearing the fragrance. We have one set of notes. There are really no top, middle, or base notes here. We have syrup, ice cream, whipped cream, caramel, vanilla, ambergris, and cinnamon. Now, when you first smell this fragrance, you're going to get hit with a huge blast of nothing but the syrup. It's very syrupy, vanilla-y, and cinnamon. Like, that's what you're going to smell with this fragrance. And essentially, during the entire time of smelling this fragrance, I feel like this is what you're going to consistently smell. Now, you may be wondering, is the scent spot on? It is most certainly spot on. Does it smell like a waffle cone? It does. It literally smells, you can smell the vanilla notes, you can smell the syrupy notes of the actual waffle cone, the little dash of cinnamon. You can smell all of that, and then the smokiness of it just a little bit too. Now, this fragrance might not be for you if you don't like strong scents, ones that really pack a punch. It's gonna hit you, and it's gonna come in really strong with this one. So if you like things that are a little bit more subtle, this might be something to kind of pull back from, or maybe smell it before you buy it by getting a smaller sample size of the fragrance before committing to a larger version of it. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple of reviews before we transition to our next Imaginary Authors fragrance. This is a really syrupy fragrance, and the cinnamon has to settle before it really warms up on the skin. The cinnamon doesn't project much, but it does add depth to the fragrance when close to the skin. This fragrance smells like a waffle sundae, maple syrup and melty ice cream with a smidge of cinnamon. I think this is nice. Not sure if I want to smell like it though. I need time to decide whether I really like this. Definitely a unique fragrance that encapsulates memories of summer and melted ice cream on the beach. Even if it may not be for me, I appreciate the idea of the execution. After letting it sit overnight, this fragrance is pretty linear. It smells virtually the same as when I first put it on. There is something in it that almost stinks, but it's not particularly noticeable unless you're really breathing it in. This smells like waffle crisp cereal with more depth. Projection is loud, and this fragrance is long lasting. As I said, I let it sit overnight. It's probably been 12 hours and it's still very present. Okay, next one. The new 2023 edition is very different from the 2020 release. Not just the notes, but the smell in general. To me, the 2020 edition was a like, not a love. The 2023 edition is, I don't know, maybe a no to me. It smells like syrup with a harsh, smoky, burnt caramel. 2020 edition was comforting, but syrupy, burnt marshmallow with cake. However, it is very long lasting and has strong sillage. I don't feel like I like it. Still under testing. All right, so I think the overall consensus of this is that you're definitely going to get hit with the syrup and then sprinkles of the cinnamon. If you like foodie scents and you're good with like a very strong pancake smell, like the Aunt Jemima pancake smell, this could be something that you might want to consider testing out. Next up, Sundrunk. So Sundrunk is a very springy summer daytime fragrance. It's very orange, it's bright, and it's something that kind of is reminiscent of like a sunny day at the beach. This right here has a huge sillage. It's big. The fragrance is big. I usually like my fragrances to scream at me. I like them loud. I want you to be able to smell me. This one is going to scream at you. Not only does it have a huge sillage, it is incredibly long lasting. This is phenomenal if you like orange fragrances, like orange, floral, green fragrances, something that is very bright and sweet. For me, this is incredibly too sweet. Unfortunately, it doesn't really develop over time. The fragrance is very linear. What you smell at first is what you're going to smell the entire time that you are wearing the fragrance. You'll get notes of orange, rhubarb, neroli, honeysuckle, hibiscus, and rosewater. So those are the notes for the fragrance. And again, what you smell first is what you're going to smell the entire time that you're wearing the fragrance. This fragrance for me, I feel like it leans more towards the feminine side. And I think because it's such a bright, huge burst of sweetness and floral, it smells like something more a woman would wear. I can see a woman wearing this. And it does feel very youthful. It is a more youthful fragrance where I see someone in their 20s and their 30s wearing this. In the 40s, it's cute, but it's not something I can imagine a 40-year-old woman wearing. But definitely a woman in her 20s, she's wearing this. She's on the beach in her bikinis with her girlfriends. They're playing volleyball. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of beautiful beach waves and suntan lotion. It reminds me of all of that. It does have a weird, like, I don't know, like an artificial note in there that smells a bit off to me, and I can't really put my finger on it. But again, I think it's very strong. It is very strong, but it's just something in there that's like slightly artificial. And unfortunately, it's not something that I would consistently wear. I've worn it a couple of times. I'm like, maybe I need a little bit of time to fall in love with it. And I've given it time, and I'm not in love with it. But I can honestly see the appeal behind it. I can definitely see the appeal behind it. I'll try again in the summertime, and we'll see what I'm feeling like in the summertime. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to jump into some of the reviews because I cannot wait to see what some of these perfume wearers who have worn the fragrance also think about it. Made me smile. Orange popsicle for sure. Brightness without too much sweetness. Not a serious endeavor. I like that it made her smile because, again, when you smell this, it is a very happy fragrance. I'm not getting orange popsicle because when I think orange popsicle, I kind of think of Dolce & Gabbana Devotion because that's the note. I mean, though they have candied lemon, it gives off like that orange creamsicle smell, and it's sweeter. This isn't like an overly sweet orange that we're smelling. It's more of a like bitter orange. A lovely, slightly tart and fizzy summer fragrance. The rhubarb helps balance the sweet stickiness of summer. Okay, that feels very accurate. It's July and 98 degrees. You're suntanning at your friend's pool and eating an orange popsicle. Even though the heat is giving you a headache, the summer is long and you have nothing to worry about. This seems like a good story that would go with this scent. And I got so excited because once I saw the like friend's pool and, you know, you're suntanning, that's what this made me think of when I said that earlier. And I'm like, oh my God, this sounds like how I envision this fragrance being worn. Who loves orange soda? Kel would love this fragrance. Fizzy orange soda or cleaning product. I don't smell the other notes. It is not for me. That's funny. Okay, so I can definitely see the fizzy orange soda because it's giving bubbles. It's giving bubbles and orange, and yes. And that's funny because Kel would love this fragrance. So that is from like the 90s show Kenan and Kel loved orange soda on that show. This is definitely a fragrance that he would love. All right, we're going to transition to our final fragrance, Every Storm a Serenade. If you are looking for an androgynous, versatile, marine, fresh, earthy fragrance, This right here is the official like mic drop. Every Storm a Serenade is hands down, out of the three, my favorite one of the three. I'm in love with this one. It is a phenomenal unisex fragrance, though I slightly feel like it a little bit leans more towards the men. I can imagine my husband or my father wearing this. This smells like a fragrance the everyday man could wear anywhere. Like he could wear it to work, he could wear it to the gym. I can imagine like my husband walking by in the gym with this on and then just getting a whiff of it and be like, damn, what the fuck is he wearing? Like that smells so good. With all imaginary authors, fragrances, they have a story. So I'm going to read the story behind this. When Stina, a writer, decamps to her mother's summer house for the winter to write a book, her trip overlaps for one day and one steamy night with a brawny fisherman named Ove. While she struggles to gain traction with her novel, her fixation on the mysterious seafarer results in countless unsent letters, the contents of which chronicle the spiraling cycle of lust and longing. Set on the desolate west coast of Denmark during the tourist off-season, Every Storm a Serenade is a meditative masterwork that will lull you with its well-designed sentences and intimate tone. Damn, that sounds sexy. That sounds like a book I would listen to on Audible. I like it. So our notes, let's look at these notes. Our notes for this fragrance are Danish spruce, eucalyptus, vetiver, cologne, ambergris, Baltic sea mist. So those are the notes for this fragrance. Let's dive into some of these reviews. Definitely not bad, but so much more cleaner than I was expecting. To me, this smells like a cleaning product. It does remind me of Vancouver a little bit when I walked around Stanley Park though. I can make out a coastal wind element, but it's not as strong as I hoped. This reminds me of ocean-themed candles my best friend loves. Not a scent I want to smell like, but pleasant experiences all the time. Unisex, leaning masculine, great performance. Okay, I agree with that. Most certainly. I can see how they would think it smells like an ocean-themed candle. It does give off very beachy. Like the Sundrunk smells like something you would wear during like that beach day, or if you had a scent theme for the day, you're like, this day smells like Sundrunken. That's what I would think of. This one kind of reminds me of that, but like the water surfer version. We're gonna go in for another review. Wet earthy green with a touch of moss. It's a cool scent, but not something I want to smell like. Okay, I mean, I guess to each their own. I think this is such a sexy scent for a man. Again, it could be a cute unisex scent, but this would be super sexy on a man. This scent is definitely more masculine. I would say the story does fit the scent. I pick up more of the pine spruce notes along with the sea water ozone notes. I've never been to Ireland, but to me, the idea of walking with a man in a pine forest in Ireland next to the sea in the chilly morning air is how I would describe what this evoked for me. That right there is probably the perfect description for this fragrance. In addition to the one that they've already created, this I feel like is perfectly in line with that. If you enjoyed this review, I would like for you to stop what you're doing right now, like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Take care.